Well, we all love to eat out, but restaurant websites are often questionable in quality, and booking a table can involve making multiple phone calls. So why don't we just do it online? That's the mission of our next guest, Stevan Premutico, who turned down a job from Richard Branson to start his own business called Dimmi, an online restaurant reservation website. 3 years on, the business has seated more than 3 million Australians and has partnered with 2,500 restaurants around the country. Stevan joins us in the studio now. Stevan, thanks so much.
Morning, Kate.
Good morning. Great idea. Just talk us through how you came up with this, because you have worked in the hospitality industry. Is that where you came up with the idea?
Yes, my background was in hotels.
Yes.
I was living in the UK at the time, and I saw this massive emergence where all of the hotel bookings were going from the traditional telephone to now being made online. So I saw the gap in the Australian market. I also saw at that time there was a couple of great brands internationally, in particular in the US, in the UK, that were capitalising on online bookings for restaurants. The main one being OpenTable in the US, which has got a market capitalisation of $1 billion. And there was a big gap in the Australian market. So I spent a couple of years researching it and then brought sort of the restaurant bookings concept to the Australian market 3 years ago.
Okay, and something like only 3% of bookings are made online here, up to 50% in the States. Why are we so far behind?
Yeah, it's a bit frightening actually, but we look at that and say there's huge opportunity,
Yes.
huge growth potential in the Australian market, and you compare that to something like San Francisco, where 1 in 2 bookings are made online in San Fran. The reason why is because the services never existed in the Australian market. So we're seeing 100% growth year on year, 3% market share today. Our target is to get that to 25% market share of all bookings being made online within the next 3 years. So with some big challenges, but certainly some great opportunity ahead of us.
Okay, so you mentioned the big player in the States is called OpenTable. Your business is called Dimmi. Where did that come from?
One of the biggest challenges for a startup is coming up with a brand and
Yes.
the name. And Dimmi means tell me in Italian. And if you kind of think about what it is that we do, we help consumers make better, more informed decisions when they're going out to restaurants. So tell me felt like it was the right name and the right brand for us.
Okay, so talk us through how you make money from this.
Yeah, so the business model is pretty simple. We don't charge diners for the transaction, so it's free to the diner. We charge restaurants a pretty simple fee, and it's all commission based. So just like What If, for hotels, where the restaurant will pay us between $1 to $3 per person for a diner that we generate for them and put in their restaurant.
Okay, and what's the reaction been like from Australian restaurants?
It's taken a while for them to sort of emerge and actually start to get online, but I think there was a tipping point for us about 2 years back where we started to see that the Australian restaurant needed to generate more covers, fill their restaurants more efficiently than they were doing in the past. So we now partner with 1 in 3 restaurants across the Australian market. So I think that demonstrates the growth and the excitement that we've had from Australian restaurants over the past couple of years.
What's their hesitation when you ask them to sign up? Are they worried that it's too easy, perhaps people won't turn up, or that they like to do it directly because they can perhaps run the customer through what tables are available or whatnot? What are the major challenges for you?
It's technology, and I think you think about the typical sort of restaurant operator, and they're typically busy operators sitting in the kitchen of the restaurant, and the big challenge for us is to educate them of the power of online, educate them of the fact that consumers are shifting online, and for them to fill their restaurant more effectively, they need to be able to capitalise on the growth that's taking place and the consumers that are searching online. So the biggest challenge for us today is just is technology and making sure that restaurants know that they need to be digital, they need to have a web presence, they need to be mobile, and most importantly, they need to be connected into the Dimmi booking network and platform.
And are there aspects of it that allow you, for instance, to book a table with a water view, or perhaps for the restaurant to tell you have to be out by 9 o'clock? I mean, does it go that deep?
Yeah, certainly, yeah. Not in terms of water views just yet. So you can certainly request a preferred table.
Okay.
But that's at the restaurant's discretion.
Yes.
Some of the exciting things we're moving forward with is really about yield management, and it's one of the big challenges for restaurants is how do they fill their tables in off-peak periods. So an example of one of the products we just launched is our Deals product, and that's 50% off at hottest restaurants in town, and that really allows you to restaurants to better capitalise and fill their empty tables. An example is Jimmy Lex, one of your favourite restaurants, where we had a deal off there last week, and it helped fill that restaurant for over 300 diners we generated at that restaurant.
Okay, interesting. Now, you do also have a partnership with Urban Spoon, which, when you Google a restaurant, often comes up with a review. Tell us about this.
Yeah, our partnership or affiliate partners have been really important for the growth of the business, and we're effectively in partnership with most of the major food portals in the Australian market: Urban Spoon, Eatability, Fairfax, News Limited. And the way that works is you can read a review on the partner site, and most importantly now you can actually make a real-time booking. So you can read the review, you can check table availability for Saturday night, 7:30 p.m. at Sepia Restaurant, and you can book right there and then.
Okay, and what about cash? You've gone through a couple of capital raisings. Have you got plenty of cash on hand, or are you looking for more investors?
We're quite fortunate that we've earlier this year Telstra and Village Roadshow came on board as major strategic investors in the business, and I think that was a monumental shift for the business and an announcement that we'd arrived in the Australian market. So we're well capitalised at the moment, and we've got some big growth challenges and opportunities ahead of us.
Okay, fantastic. Stevan, thanks so much for your time. Great idea. We enjoyed having you on.
Thank you, Kate.
Stevan from Dimmi there, which allows you to book tables online. All right, some big-name US stocks have had a troubled year and are tipped for a revival in 2013. Analysts say some tech giants like Hewlett-Packard and also Facebook are set for a potential comeback.